40% of people aged 65 plus have age-associated memory impairment. In the US, that translates to about 16 million people, but only about 1% of them will progress to dementia each year. In this video, we'll help you tell the difference between normal aging and dementia, so you can stay on top of your cognitive health and also for those that you love. In case you're new, I'm Cyn Meyer, the founder of Second Wind Movement and a life coach for older adults who are striving to turn their retirement years into their best years full of purpose and meaning. And of course, a core foundational part of that is your health and having your mental faculties about you. Let's first quickly cover what normal aging entails. Normal aging is an aging process where your body changes over time. It's a process that catches up to everyone. It's not a sudden change, but rather a gradual one that happens over several years. And here is a visual summary of the signs of normal aging, which range from eye trouble and hearing loss to memory loss and decreased agility. As far as memory goes, you'll notice certain changes in your memory power that weren't there before. For instance, you might not recall the names of distant relatives or friends, or say a movie, or recollect words as easily in general. You might also notice that when you receive new information, you process it a bit slower than before. While that's inconvenient, these changes aren't considered major problems, and they're very normal in older adulthood. And it's a mixed slowdown in your memory. In fact, according to NCBI, aging and memory do have a relation, where some memory declines with aging and some of it remains stable as you age. Procedural memory, for example, which is when you learn how to do things like ride a bike, remains stable as you age. Whereas prospective memory, which is remembering to do something in the future, like taking your daily meds before bed, declines as you age. As for abnormal types of aging, what's dementia and what are the symptoms? Contrary to the pace of normal aging, dementia is a cognitive breakdown that can be very drastic and it worsens with time. It's a progressive and disruptive disease that mainly affects your brain, where it causes loss of memory, language, and problem solving and thinking abilities that sadly interfere with your daily life activities. Dementia is also an umbrella term for different types of brain disorders, the most common being Alzheimer's disease, which touches a whopping 60 to 80% of dementia patients. The reason why dementia is so severe and progressive is there's a major deterioration in your brain cells, and that damage prevents your brain cells from communicating with each other, which causes some pretty major symptoms, including difficulties with short-term memory, losing track of objects like a wallet or a purse, forgetting appointments and dates like when bills are due, forgetting the names of close friends and relatives, and not remembering to complete important tasks or work. It's also a telltale sign when someone takes major pauses to gather thoughts when they're trying to communicate. Or on the receiving end of it, when they're having trouble following along or joining in on a conversation. Another early sign of Alzheimer's to look out for is when there's significant change in someone's mood and personality. But here are 3 big ways to tell the difference between normal aging and dementia. Number 1, the pace of change in your memory. In normal aging, the decline seems to be slower and more controlled. Memory loss related to normal aging is generally seen starting between 50 to 60 years of age. In dementia, it's more sudden and drastic. The impact is more disruptive and faster in the case of dementia, which results in exaggerated memory loss pretty quickly. And the reason why it happens so drastically so fast is because this disease, Alzheimer's disease, can hack away at your brain for 20 plus years before you see any symptoms happen. So by the time you experience those symptoms, it seems as if it's crazy fast. Number 2, the impact on your competency. One significant difference between normal aging and dementia is the effect that it has on your competence and your intelligence level overall. In normal aging, even though the brain slows down over time, the general intelligence of the person is not severely affected. But that's not the case with dementia, where the overall IQ of a person is negatively impacted. So this is the difference between forgetting the name of distant places and being slow to register thoughts, which is normal aging, and then forgetting names that you use frequently and getting confused very easily, especially with new information. That's a sign of dementia. And number 3, the impact on how you function in daily life. You can tell the difference between memory loss from normal aging versus dementia in the way that it impacts your everyday life activities. For example, in normal aging, you may not be able to quickly follow up after a conversation, or you might get confused, but you can still remember and understand the topic of conversation. Whereas with dementia, you might completely forget the topic of conversation in the middle of the conversation and ultimately not be able to understand what's going on, let alone participate in it, which can be super frustrating. And then if you add other dementia symptoms like not being able to focus on one particular thing and having multiple mood swings, the situation compounds even more and can even present a dangerous situation. Like if you forget your home address or you can't find your way home, that's a lot more severe than having problems recalling the name of a place you visited a few years back or something like that, which is normal aging. So understanding the difference between normal aging versus dementia helps you prevent and manage your cognitive health. And it's also worth mentioning that the more you educate yourself about dementia and normal aging, the more you can manage it, because there are plenty of other topics that can cause memory loss symptoms, which may or may not be related to dementia. For example, an imbalance in hormone levels, especially in females, can contribute to memory loss symptoms. And thinking and memory problems that are caused by other conditions can improve when they're treated properly. Things like depression and stress, side effects of certain medications, excessive intake of alcohol, vitamin deficiencies, or thyroid-related health issues. Either way, take a deeper dive into what's happening below the surface level symptoms, and if you find that it's related to Alzheimer's or dementia, there are things that you can do to help curb the impact of Alzheimer's. It doesn't guarantee anything, but it will help the quality of your aging process, regardless, if you focus on the factors that you can control, like your environment and your lifestyle choices, and spend less time and energy focusing on things that you cannot control, like your age, your genetic makeup, or any coexisting medical conditions. Either way, the more that you educate yourself and then dig into the power of neuroplasticity, the better. Which, by the way, if you want some resources on leveraging your brain plasticity, I'll leave some links to that in the description below this video. For now, I thank you so much for being here and for striving to be your best during retirement. We need more people like you to help shift our culture to be better. Please like, share, and subscribe and comment on this video. Every engagement that you make with our content helps us do our job better of creating helpful content for this very important audience of older adults. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.